Okay, peace and black power to you, family. I just want to welcome you once again to another episode of Living Life Out Loud with Purpose. We're coming to you live here today from the 508 studios. And I just again want to welcome you. And remember, if you hear anything that resonates with you, please like and share and subscribe to the channel. If you hear anything that you think someone else needs to hear, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So I'm gonna jump right into it today. I'm gonna give you guys true testimony. I want to talk about truth and testimony. I just want to talk to you guys about something that happened to me, and I just want to testify to it. So a few years ago, I was volunteering at our local soup kitchen. I cooked over at the local soup kitchen, and there was a young man who would come and volunteer as well. Actually, he was a part of a program where they were like in teen jail, and they had to do community service, and part of his community service was to volunteer at the soup kitchen. So it was a young man there. His name, I called him Smiley. To this day, I still can't remember the young man's name, but I used to call him Smiley because he always had a smile on his face. So one day, as we're doing soup kitchen, and soup kitchen is coming to a close, and we're cleaning up, and he was handing me the dishes, and I was putting them back into the trailer. So I'm standing outside, and he's on the deck. I'm down below, and as he's standing over the deck, I noticed that he had holes in the bottom of his shoes. And mind you, he had on socks, but I could see his feet. So I'm like, "Yo, Smiley, holes in your shoes, man?" He's like, "Yeah, Trent." He's like, my family ain't really taking care of me. Since I've been in here, my mom's and dad kind of left me on my own. They kind of said, I put myself in here and I need to take care of myself. So, I kind of agree with his parents. But, I couldn't see the young man standing there with holes in his shoes. And I know I had some good shoes at home that he could probably use. So I told him, I said, "Smiley," I said, "man, make sure you come next week." I said, "because when you come next week, man, I'm going to bring you a couple pair of shoes and that you can have." He's like, "Oh, Trent, thanks, man. I appreciate that." So I go to put the rest of the dishes back into the trailer as, I was doing. And a voice just came over me, and God just speaking to me. And God said, "Why does he have to wait?" He said, "When you ask for something, don't I give you to you when you ask?" Or, and I said, "Yeah, God, but not all the time." And he said, "Well, wouldn't you like me to?" And of course I said, "Yeah, God." And I said, "Well, God," I looked down at my feet, and I had on some brand new Jordans, man. These was tight, brand spanking new. Just got them. I'm wearing them for the first time today at the soup kitchen. And God said to give them. And I said, "What? Give them these? My new shoes, God?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "But these are my best ones." And God said, "Well, when you ask me for something, don't I give you the best?" And I said, "Yeah, God." So I was being obedient to the voice. And I said, "Here, Smiley, take them shoes off. Come hand me them shoes." And he's like, "What, Trent? What do you mean?" I said, "Take them shoes off." And he took them off. And I took my shoes off and I handed them to him. And he's like, "Trent, man, for real, these are mine. You gonna let me have these?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man." He's like, Trey, but these is Jordans, man. And I'm like, I know, man. And he was so excited. He was so happy, man. And I want to tell you that seeing the joy up over him was enough for me. And I want to tell you that the story ended there and that was just enough and I was good with that. But I'd be telling you a lie. So, day goes on, I'm finishing up and it starts to drizzle outside. Then my wife, she comes to pick me up from the soup kitchen as she does normally on Tuesdays. And I tell her I had to go drop off the bread at the store because not only do I volunteer at the soup kitchen, but I also head of a bread program. So I had to go to the grocery store to pick up the bread for the bread program. So I tell my wife, and she says, "Okay," reluctantly, because she's in a hurry because it's Tuesday and she normally has a choir rehearsal on Tuesday. So she's kind of rushing me. So I'm kind of moving right along. And I'm going in, I'm getting the stuff, that I needed. And man, I'm walking in these shoes that Smiley done gave me. It's damp outside. Water done seep through the bottom of them. My socks is wet. I just feel so miserable, man. And then on top of all this, now my feet hurt. And I feel like I'm walking on a raw ground. And then I come out the store and I'm putting the bread in the car. And my wife gets out to help me and she says something and I just turn around and I snap at her. Yeah. She quiets down, goes into her quiet place, and just gets in the car. And she has this look of just defeat on her face, where I just beat her up so bad for nothing. And I could see my wife, she's almost in tears, and man, I'm her husband, man. That's my girl, man. She ain't just my wife. She my friend. She my girlfriend. She my mistress. She the woman I cheat on. My wife would. She my mother, my father, my brother, my sister. She's everything but God to me. My God. She is God on earth. I'm staying to be correct. She's even God to me. How about that? There you go. I said it. Big up to me. Yeah, I just gave myself a pat on the head. But anyways, I love this woman. And I would never want her to walk away or ever to be in my presence and feel defeated. Why would I ever want to feel superior to my wife or feel like I've dominated her or I put her in her place? So yeah, man, I had to go right to repentance. And baby, I'm sorry. I apologize. And she said, "Well, what's wrong with you? You were okay a little while ago." And I said, "I know, baby. I'm sorry." I said, "My feet, they just hurt so bad. They hurt so bad." Now, here's the moral of the story. Smiley has been walking in these shoes for I don't know how long. I walked in his shoes in a matter of minutes. I just couldn't stand it. So I learned in that moment what it truly meant to walk a mile in another man's shoes. And we never know what somebody else could be going through and how they're dealing with life. And now when I see people and they're angry and maybe they're not being as friendly as I think they should be, I equate it to maybe their feet just hurt. and I just dismiss them, and maybe their feet just hurt because in that moment, as I was telling my wife, as I was apologizing to my wife, in that moment, I just realized, how it just felt to be in another person's shoes. And I literally may have only walked a mile in his shoes because it was a matter of minutes and I couldn't take it. And he had been walking in these shoes for God knows how long. So now I'd like to tell you that the story ends here, right? And that everything just, bomb, have a nice day. But that's not the end of the story. So now I go home, minus my new Jordans, with these holy sneakers on now. Not throw them away. But how about not even a week later, I go to the barbershop to get my hair cut. And the guy that's cutting my hair decides today he wanted to donate some shoes to me. 5 pair of brand new Jordans, all different kind, man. Now, I swear on everything I love, man. I swear I am not lying to you. Now, this was quite a few years ago, but I still got a pair of those shoes. I save them to commemorate that moment, to again, being, so there's a lot of parts to this story that I hope you pay attention to. One, being obedient to the voice of God. By being obedient, God was able to bless me, abundantly, more beyond where I thought I was already blessed at. I thought I was already at a blessed place having brand new Jordans. But God blessed me beyond that moment, So, I encourage you to be obedient to that voice of God. And then the next part of the story is, again, you never know what another person is going through and how they're dealing with life, what pains, what aches, how life is happening to them. And then here you come. Sometimes you might have to take yourself out of the equation and see what's left. See if a problem still exists. Now, if you take yourself out of the equation and the problem don't exist anymore, then guess what? You're the problem. Now, if you take yourself out of the equation and the problem still exists, you may be part of the solution. So again, I just encourage everyone to, again, be obedient to the voice of God that's inside you, because you never know how God is waiting for an opportunity to bless you, or you never know when God is waiting for an opportunity to bless you. And we can sometimes stop our blessings. I could have stifled my blessing by not being obedient, and it did my heart good, like I said, to see my fellow man being happy and to help somebody else out, and at the same token, I learned another life lesson of what it meant to truly walk in another man's shoes. You should try it sometimes. So this is Trent signing off once again. Remember, live life out loud with purpose. And if you heard anything that resonates with you, please like, share, subscribe to the video. And if you heard anything that you think someone else needs to hear, please like, share, and subscribe to the video.